Well, let's talk about Wild Faith, because that was one of the projects I know we were
Yeah.
interested to talk most about. So how did that, I guess, come to be? What was the kind of the process, the genesis of that?
DJ wrote that about 10 years ago, and they were going to develop it. They had shot a trailer, really nice looking trailer to bring investors on, and through some other things, and sometimes projects just don't get developed. You get to a certain phase and something drops through, or a person dies, or something like that. So I had read the script, which was called Wild Michigan at that time, and I liked it. I thought it had a lot to say. DJ originally was saying, is this something that you'd want to direct? And it's like, man, I want to star in it.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell him that yet, because as a producer, I'm like, I got to package myself.
Sure.
Right.
If I'm going to present that to him, I want some shovel-ready stuff.
Right.
So I went to my good friend Jesse Lowe, who was my assistant director on Ashes of Eden, and I was like, dude, what do you think of that script? Because he got a chance to read it too. I was like, yeah, I really like it. Oh, yeah? I go, wow. What do you think of like me as Emmett? It was Daniel at that time. We changed the name. Okay. He goes, yeah, I could see that. I go, good, man, because I'm going to pitch you as a director. I'm going to star in it. I will co-produce it. And I sat down with DJ with Jesse, and I pitched it to him, and that's how we went. We walked out of there going, all right, let's make a movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how long in between that pitch meeting until you're actually rolling on it? Roughly?
Probably 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah. We got the funding for it, and then we shot it in Michigan. And it took probably a year of editing. Jesse cut it himself, trailer, till we were premiering it, maybe 16 months, something like that. Yeah, really fast. Got it into its first couple film festivals, won some Best Pictures. I was nominated for Best Actor against, in this one film festival, it was like Judge Reinhold, who's a old Hollywood veteran, and gosh, I forget the other guy's name. He's great. He was in a Scorsese movie, Goodfellas. Who's the main guy?
Ray Liotta?
Yeah, Ray Liotta.
Wow.
So up against, Ray Liotta, Judge Reinhold. Judge Reinhold took it, so I didn't feel too bad about that.
If you're going to lose to somebody,
right,
he's at least acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. How long was the shoot in that?
About 18 days.
Okay. It's all in the same. You're all the same.
Yeah, that's our budget model.
Right.
Get in there, just really, really streamline everything as much as you can and get out, because the longer you have that open, the more possibilities for anything can go wrong,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish we had more time. And then there's other times like anything could happen. Like a light could go out and smash this. This thing could go, like you're liable for all that stuff, the liability on a production shoot. And I think that's what separates from a lot of people is like we try to do everything right. We have insurance. We have, permits. So many people do the guerrilla route, man, and they didn't get a location release. They didn't get these things. And it can come to bite you in the butt, man.
Yeah. Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing kind of as you guys, I think you had a premiere at a local theater, and I think you kept selling out shows, and they're like, and now there's another one, and you know what, we've added another showing and another showing, and I remember seeing that this particular film just grow exponentially, and I was always that's great. Like I love that it's so, especially in this area, because it was shot pretty locally to where we are right now. And I remember thinking, that's great. Like that's so cool to see.
Well, here's what I think. You can hype a film so much. Like sometimes you'll say, hey, come to this premiere. You don't get to see a trailer. Or now you see a trailer, like, okay, that looks interesting. You go out, and if that word of mouth don't carry outside of that first weekend or that first day, you're dead in the water.
Right.
But if the word of mouth and it is good, people are going to, hey, man, you got to check this out. You got to watch this, And so that's why, Ashes was the same thing. Kept selling over. We were the closing film of the 2014 Capital City Film Festival, set a record number of attendance. Over 600 people showed to that.
Wow.
When you say that you have kind of the sweet spot for like your budget and the kind of number of days and whatnot, I mean, most of these pieces are either period pieces or are at least, not necessarily modern pieces. So is that kind of built into your model? Are you trying to do pieces that are period pieces or that are,
I think that's the way the cards fell.
Yeah.
The biblical trilogy, the way it was. Mine, I think it's so challenging. We can shoot in a diner, we can shoot in a coffee shop with normal people, but man, getting all the cars, getting all the costumes, getting the production value right, I mean, that takes a lot of producing.
Yeah.
I like challenge. I like going big. If you're going to go after something, give it your all, man.
Yeah.
Give it your all. So, so happens to be my first film was a 60s period film, and then, Wild Faith, biblical trilogy. These last two are, present day. Last three.
Okay.
Present time. Yeah.
I've asked this of a lot of people, but do you think people don't necessarily appreciate the amount of work that goes into being an actor?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's sometimes crew. I love our crew. I don't think people thank the crew enough. And that's why even in award shows, you got to thank your crew, man.
Sure.
But like in between a set, they're moving lights and they're talking, they're doing their thing, and you're maybe trying to keep an energy up, trying to keep that frequency. So when the camera goes boom, you're not starting from zero. You're at least at 3 or 4 ready. And sometimes they might not appreciate nor have the ignorance of not knowing like what it takes to have that focus. So there's that element, and I love my crew. So. But also sometimes, just people in general, they just I think when it looks effortless, they think it's easy.
Right.
And they don't know all the preparation, and I'm not saving lives. I got doctors, friends who are doctors. They actually save lives. But so it's not that serious. But there's a lot of effort. There's a lot of things that go into it that you spend time with,
I can say for myself as a director, it's easy to start taking things for granted when, when certain people are seeming to nail it, and you just kind of go, they're going to nail it every time, and you don't have to worry about it, and you kind of take it for granted. So I'm guilty of that as much as anybody. So
I think I know the time you're talking
yes,
about.
there's
specifically.
Yeah, or I've done this to an actress, and God bless her. It was wrong of me as a director. It was a very emotional scene, and she just nailed it in the first 2 takes, and it was really good, but there was just something I wasn't getting my head around. Maybe it was a technical thing, and then I was just having to do it over and over, and I forgot as an actor, like, what am I doing there's no more tears.
Right.
There's no more. Right. And I end up using, the 1 or 2 take.
Beginning
that
takes.
was good anyway.
Right.
So now I make that note as a director as I learned that lesson.